Okay, good afternoon, folks. Can you hear me back there okay? Good? Awesome, thank you. As we do in any gathering that we have, we put our Lord and Creator first, and in doing so we have invited Reverend Gordon Swanson to lead us in prayer. So, Reverend, ask them.
Nancy, good morning. Welcome. And I give thanks for the community for allowing me to come here and say an opening prayer and Thanksgiving prayer. And welcome to all our ministers that are here, and then welcome to our community. Thank you very much, and then thank you for all coming. And then I'm going to say a general Thanksgiving prayer that says all about everything in the community, what we're going to do. And I'm thankful for all the programs that are going to be happening here in our community. It was in the Naskoman. It says here, as we pray, accept, O Lord, our thanks and praise for all you have done for us. We thank you for the splendor of the whole creation, for the beauty of this world, for the wonder of life, and for the mystery of love. We thank you for a blessing of families and friends. We ask that your strength, your guidance, your peace, your faith, grace would be with us. The wellspring of life, pour into our hearts the living water of your grace. By your light we see light. Increase our faith and grant that we may walk in the brightness of your presence. And for all the loving care for surrounds us from every side, we thank you for setting us tasks which demands our best efforts, and for leading us into accomplishments which satisfies and delights us. We thank you also for those disappointments and failures that lead us to acknowledge our dependence on you alone. Above all, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, for the truth of his word and the example of his life, for his steadfast obedience, by which he overcame temptation, by his dying, through which he overcame death, for his rising to life again, in which we are raised to the life of your kingdom. Grant us the gift of your Spirit, that we may know Christ and make him known through him at all times, in all places. May give thanks to you in all things. Amen. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Swanson. At this time, I'm going to call our chief to do his welcoming remarks, opening remarks for this, and then we'll get him to come back up and say a few words after the minister. So, Chief Larson Anderson.
Thank you. Gusrente noma hanuska ga pevi tamagoya. Gusrentaman na sitz da misak na sitz di kahenoik da genob migwa hota Canada geist hat hanuska vi pevi tamagoya homa kavia tsimuto maskeo ho sugemawin dann se Inuguta pogenemigwa kina gonna say CP nok mutapamidata ya tatchamatamaso homa this health center is natahik. So I'm really honored to be able to be here today, to be able to hear the announcement myself firsthand from the Minister Philpott from the federal government. I welcome everyone from the elders, the children, the workers, visitors. I hope that you get the sense of what this all means for our community. To be able to take on a project of this magnitude, but also to be able to have the facility that is going to be coming to our community for us to use for foreseeable and into the future. I looked yesterday. We had an opportunity to meet with some of our staff that I'm really excited to see and to witness myself. How they work and how much pride we can take with this opportunity. We will be doing a groundbreaking ceremony. We will be doing some announcements, but also there's some entertainment coming, and our very own chef Hattie is going to be feeding us really well too. So look forward to that as well. I could say thank you. God bless.
Now, for all what we've been waiting for here today in the last little while, I would like to call up Minister Philpott, to come up and make her announcement and her.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Tansei, Anine. I am delighted to come as a representative of the Government of Canada here to Treaty 5 territory. I want to acknowledge the traditional territory and recognize as well that just a few steps away from where we are all now, in 1875, the signing of Treaty 5 took place. And here many years later, we're gathered together as treaty partners. I want to thank Chief Anderson for his warm welcome and all of the councillors of Norway House Cree Nation for your welcome to this place today. We are honoured to have with us as well Grand Chief Arlen Dumas, Grand Chief Garrison Satie joining us on this day, as well as members of Parliament, Dan Vandell, Parliamentary Secretary for Indigenous Services, and Dr. Doug Ailson, Member of Parliament. I am also wanting to acknowledge at the outset that we are here in the home community of a young man named Jordan River Anderson, who is now known across the country for the story and the tragic early death of that young man from this community that has had such a huge impact on children across our country. Let me start with the announcement that you've all been waiting for. And I want to say that it gives me tremendous pleasure today, on behalf of the Government of Canada, to announce an investment of $100 million here for the construction of Norway House Cree Nation Health Centre of Excellence. What a day. The eyes of the country are celebrating with us here today. Even the Eagles have come to celebrate with us. $100 million for the construction of the Norway House Cree Nation Health Centre of Excellence. What a great day to celebrate. I want to congratulate the entire Norway House Cree Nation. Just a few minutes ago, the Chief described Norway House Cree Nation as a beacon. You are indeed a beacon of light to the nation. You, as a community, have been the driving force behind this project, and I know how hard you have worked for it. Community members among you have been designing, planning, making sure that you are going to have a health centre of true excellence based on the needs of your community. So many good things to celebrate. I want to announce another surprise that maybe the Chief is not even aware of, but it's a great opportunity today as well to tell you that we have just finalized 4 additions to reserve for Norway House Cree Nation, adding 3,400 acres in Gunasawa Lake to Norway House Cree Nation. So another reason to celebrate. So the Norway House Cree Nation is growing in more ways than one. But today's celebration is about this fantastic new health center of excellence. And when it is built, it will be a fully integrated health facility, providing emergency care, inpatient care, diagnostic care, serving the 8,000 members of Norway House Cree Nation, plus many in the surrounding region. It will indeed be a state-of-the-art health facility, and it is going to address the healthcare needs of this community with community-based health programs, a cultural hall that is going to have a conference center and learning facilities. This is a fantastic example of First Nations-led health transformation. This has been designed and managed by First Nations for First Nations. The centre will be using traditional knowledge as well as traditional language to serve the community, and even teaching future healthcare professionals for the province and the country right here in Norway House Cree Nation. This is a health centre that will be operated by the community, and it will be the largest health centre in Manitoba history to be controlled by a First Nation. There are so many things that are going to be included in this health centre, and I hope you'll all look at the model. You'll see that there's an emergency care department, 8 private patient rooms, 2 palliative care rooms, a family birthing unit, 1 birth room especially designed to accommodate midwifery care. There is going to be a private room to provide bariatric care, a cultural hall with the conference center and learning facilities, a sweat lodge, professional accommodations for health professionals, and a maintenance garage. I want to also acknowledge the health professionals who have been a huge part of this story in the design and service delivery. I'm pleased to know that physician services are going to continue to be provided by Ongomazon, the University of Manitoba's Indigenous Institute of Health and Healing. And I want to acknowledge the University of Manitoba partners who are here today, committed to the future of Norway House Cree Nation Health Centre of Excellence. I'll make a few comments in a minute about Jordan's Principle and the role that that has played in the country, but there's another story that may not be known to as many of you of the kind of impact that is touching the entire country that came out of Norway House. This is my second visit to Norway House. Just over 2 years ago, I visited the hospital, and I got a lovely tour around the hospital and heard about the need for a new facility. I heard about many other needs that were there. And one of the people that gave me a tour is Dr. Adrienne Morrow, who I think is in the back of the room and probably well known to many of you. I see her hiding back there. I think everybody loves Dr. Morrow, who is Chief of Staff at the hospital. I was asking Dr. Morrow a little bit more about what was needed, and she was describing to me how much this new health facility was needed. And I asked her about laboratory needs and many other needs. And then she turned to me and said something that I'll never forget, because she's very interested in birthing and making sure that people have good birth experiences. And she said, of all the things that we need, she said, we need more healthcare providers, we need more laboratory facilities, we need a new health center. But she said, one thing that you maybe haven't thought of, she said, could you please make it possible that when our young women have to leave here to give birth in Winnipeg, they're not allowed to take their partner or their mother or their sister with them, and that's wrong. Could you fix that for us? And I heard her stories. I heard her tell me how some young women were actually afraid to come and give birth, afraid to tell people that they were pregnant because they knew they would be sent away all by themselves to a faraway place. Dr. Morrow inspired me that day to go back to the Prime Minister, to our government, to tell that story. and to say we've got to find a way that we can provide the funding so that women in this country will not have to leave their home communities to faraway places all by themselves. And so it's because of Norway House Cree Nation that now, as of our budget in 2017, women that have to leave home to give birth can always bring someone with them. So thank you to Norway House for that big change. But you know that one of the ways that this community has touched the country, perhaps more than any other way, is because of the family and the legacy of Jordan River Anderson. Jordan's story will live on in Canadian history for generations to come. I know that the family, some of which are here today, some of Jordan's sisters, continues to grieve his loss. But because of him, it has been made clear in this country that no child should go without the care they need. And even though it went for 10 years that nobody had their care funded under Jordan's principle, we changed that and made sure that the money was there to make sure that never again would there be disputes between provinces and the country about who should pay for care. And I'm very pleased to be able to say that over the last 2.5 years, 100,000 requests have been approved. 100,000 approvals of care based on Jordan's principle. This community and this province, I would say, are leading the way on Jordan's principle, making sure that you're partnering together. I heard today about the work that's being done in this community with 200 children being served through the Jordan's principle work. And communities and tribal councils and health authorities and First Nations organizations are striving together. There's a meeting next week with 800 people attending to learn more about how Jordan's principle can be delivered better and better. So thank you to all of you for your advocacy and to Jordan's family for making sure that no family will have to experience what that family went through. I pulled up this morning a quote that I wanted to leave you with that comes from the Royal Commission on Aboriginal Peoples, because I think it really speaks to what's happening here today. The Royal Commission on Aboriginal Peoples said this: what Aboriginal people need is straightforward. 3 things. Control over their own lives, in the place of the well-meaning but ruinous paternalism of past Canadian governments. Number 2, lands, resources, and self-chosen governments with which to construct social, economic, and political order. And number 3, time, space, and respect from all of Canada to heal their spirits and revitalize their cultures. What we're seeing here today is self-determination in action. We know that the best health outcomes will be achieved in this community when programs and services in health are community-led and designed by you, for you. Notre gouvernement soutient des initiatives qui favorisent l'autodétermination en matière de soins de santé pour toutes les Premières Nations. Today's announcement shows a demonstration of the strength, resilience, the capacity of Norway House Cree Nation to create a state-of-the-art facility to deliver care and to be a beacon of light and hope for the nation. Merci beaucoup. Chimigwech.
I asked them. That's awesome. At this time, I asked the Madam Minister if she could stand here. I want all of you that work in the health, hospital, clinic to please rise.
Amazing.
This is what your department funds, Madam Minister. We applaud you. My hat goes out to you folks, and especially to Dr. Morrow back there. Awesome. At this time, I'm going to call our chief to make his comments regarding this announcement. Chief?
Wow. What am I going to do with $100 million? I guess I'll build a hospital. So, thank you. Welcome, all dignitaries. Of course, Minister Jane Philpott, Grand Chief Arlen Dumas, Grand Chief Garrison Satie, MP Vandel, and an MP Yulofson. Thank you, Dr. Yulofson. As well as all the community members and staff, stakeholders, partners who have traveled to Norway House for this special day. This truly is historic for Norway House. I'm going back to 1995, I think, when I first heard about how old our Indian hospital was. And we took a tour of the Fort Capel Indian Hospital. And when we went to Fort Capel, I was very impressed with the scenery of their First Nation. And at that time, the community, the country wasn't ready for the Norway House Health Center of Excellence. Fast forward to 2018, to a government that recognizes First Nation rights, First Nation sovereignty, and the ability to not only construct but to manage a facility that will be the size that it will be, and the volume, the number of patients it will have, the staffing it will have, is definitely historic. The commitment made by the federal government under the Trudeau Liberal Party in particular shows to me, as a leader of a First Nation, that we have a partner in government that can do substantially more. When the question came, why and how can we win the opportunity to construct a facility that's $100 million, made me think, how does that happen? How can we make use of ourselves? How can we make use of this opportunity? And what direction does Norway House want to go? And the thoughts and the discussions we had have been geared to becoming a training location for other First Nations. We are sitting right in the middle of Canada, especially Manitoba. So Norway House is open to discussing with University of Manitoba on this relationship and this moving forward, to be able to have our youth, our community members further their education, as well as invite others to come, and make Norway House their temporary home. It's a new beginning for our community. It's something that is, totally amazing. I'm still lost for words at the magnitude of this project. Being a fairly new chief, seeing already how much and how many doors have opened in just a little while, having a council that is strong, united, wise, having a community that wants to work with and be patient with this new government. So today we were able to, bring the minister and the government to Norway House to announce this major infrastructure development, this major, move towards Norway House Cree Nation being, a hub of this province. So I thank the minister, I thank the province, I thank the people and the council. Egosanik and Naskamit now. God bless you. Egosit.
Thank you, Chief Anderson. At this time, I'm going to call up. I had to do a flip coin who I should call first. I respect all both positions, but one's got to go first. So I'll ask the Grand Chief of Assembly of Manitoba, Chief Arlen Dumas, to come up and do his comments, please.
Listo na matuisigan. Tanse, niwago maganak dohti mag nas kumun kitom tago padik tawi padik kapigyogi an kinusiyo sipi kiskidimina on mididi tin utaga pigyogi an nitsa ganak niwap mga gusto te atsik gusto mididi tin itawi padik itomo taga pigyogi an idigo imidonugwa imidogaskitsigi gisto ego Nisitos ko ge maga na isipi ay sigisipi gisquit pigon maga giskisya ka mamawiya kispin ge mamawa no pigugi gon ga gigaskita na no akan mididi tini idigo inuguchigi gisto ta imido sigo ma maskigi ga migui usita ya ako maga ge do ay nag nido yo so na sisni sa nagadasi mun. So to those of you who don't speak Cree, I said we're starting the early bird game with 2 lines anyway. My friends, my relatives, it's a very good day. I'm very pleased to be here today to share in a celebration with you. I'm very honored to be here today. It's a very special thing. It's a very historic thing. I want to echo the words of your chief when he said that it's important that we're united and that we support each other, and that what's good for Norway House is good for all of us, and that today we set a beautiful precedent that we'll be able to work on, that will eventually impact and benefit all of our communities. The Prime Minister himself said that there was no greater relationship than the relationship between First Nations and the Government of Canada. And today is a good example of that, of honoring those words. And we have to honor and challenge our government to continue to move towards the reality of reconciliation. And $100 million might be painful for some people, but it feels pretty good for Norway House and for Manitoba. It is through those types of investments in our people that will allow for us to move towards true reconciliation. No one other than ourselves knows how to better serve ourselves and look after our people, our elders, our young mothers, our families. And it's through these initiatives and these exercises that we're able to attain that reconciliation that we all deserve. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, there was a young man, and I got stage fright here, so I forget his name, but he's actually from Norway House, and he said something very interesting to me the other day. He said, you know, in this age of social media, in this age of modern communication, he said, we have to remind each other that we have to practice lateral kindness. Lateral kindness. So to all those Facebook warriors out there, spread a little bit of lateral kindness and celebrate the beautiful things and the beautiful culture and the beautiful experience our people have, and stand with our chief and council and the rest of our leadership and our elders. So again, my friends, thank you very much for the invitation. All the best to you.
Thank you, Grand Chief Dumas. Before we call up the next speaker, I need to acknowledge the 2 handsome and very sharp-looking gentlemen behind me. Staff Sergeant, our very own from Cross Lake. There's a Staff Sergeant here, Shane Smith. And the next good-looking guy, his name is Mike, by the way. Mike Levy. Close? That's close. Mike Levy. He's one of our local constables. They're here They're here as an honor guard for the minister and for the dignitaries. At this time, I want to call up my brother, our Northern Grand Chief of MKO, Marison Sati.
Tutemak, nitisanak, niwagumaganak, kita miskat na wawagagino, nasbitsa kitigegon, egisi pe sotamaga yeg, nasbitski mineni tamat na kagino, nasbitski mineni tenisayo, ewapat tamegisa ni magagisi paguseni mueg, peuta nagutse, so gagutse inanaskumuan, kaisi mino panigwe ganutsa gisigag. On behalf of the MKO chiefs, I bring greetings, and I just want to congratulate the nation of Conisewasi Peak for such a tremendous opportunity to service your people, to bring healing to your people, and I couldn't be more happy to see this event take place. The announcement and the ceremony that will take place is such a very historical moment. It's a very historical day today, and I just only wish that all of our First Nations could enjoy the same announcement, but it's going to come. It's going to come for our people. And I want to thank the Norway House Cree Nation for paving the way for many projects and being progressive. So it just goes to show what resiliency and determination and hard work actually can bring us and bring our people to a place such as what we are seeing today. So I'm just so thankful to be here today. I am so elated, and I'm so happy to be able to see you with that glow in your face and that sparkle in your eye, because something big has happened here today, and it happened to you. So congratulations, Norway House. I want to commend your chief and council, and I want to commend all your health staff and all the people that made this possible, because this is something very significant. And if Norway House can do this, I know that all our First Nations can do this. So congratulations, and keep up the good work here in Norway House. Kinanaskumit now.
Okay, we're going to have our last speaker to say a few words, but before I call up Councillor Anthony Apatagan, sorry, Councillor, our health portfolio holder, to say a few words. I want to acknowledge, I know the Minister did, but I also want to acknowledge as well, too, our Member of Parliament, also happened to be a half-brother to us, a Métis gentleman by the name of Dan Vandel. Another member of Parliament, I believe he's a doctor. We're building a building, by the way, so you're welcome to come and practice here. Doug Elson. And the lady at the end, a lot of you may have seen her out and about Norway House many times, but I've seen her for a long time, worked with the Health Canada or Medical Services branch at the time. He's been around a long time, Pam Smith. Councillor Anthony Apatagan.
Thank you. That's a new thing. I'm going to get Tabiskat now. Tabisko, we will give up. Minister Philpott, members of Parliament. Kawidat to schema, go get in work. That's spits never misses in the nurse. A baby Tamaga yak, a minega yagoma, soon out at Ustaik, Health Center of Excellence. Gipeminiga in must Nigan, August Teganita Gipemasna Magaya, Gepevi Tamaga yak. Must Nigan, Piagon, the bed of Tenota, Ogemau, Minister, the baby tuck, Egomouts and Magistan Tagak. Metrinaspit ni mamistisin anos utagani poyan anas kamau mantu igi minute tumeno atos kevino genas kumet nami nagisto akamina anas kamau utega bit signivitse waganak the other council members naspit sa yun kiswagni bidatos kemet nan nivichi tanan munam piago nama health kana nagatsta naga health center of excellence ka peni midatos ke mitna no gemagan agatos ke naganak so kistige gonanos nimitene mistis nimaminenten tunem pasitis ken mai suit jage denawe ma mistis yan ngaiton so gisto be thankful hagamina danaskoma kayasamaga sinudstanwak health center of excellence kesnatin at 20 years osme Nuanaskamaganage, Unigania, Otanagos, Agatuskenaganag, Otanagos, we stogi minutistatic, Omenota Taispanik. So I got what is Tawaganim. Just want to say welcome to everybody. And today I don't have $100 million to give my band membership, but I give you 100 million hugs and kisses. That's how proud I am today to be a leader in this community, because of the fact that we're moving forward on the Health Center of Excellence. And thank you, Minister Philpott, for advocating on our behalf. Thank you, members of Parliament, Grand Chiefs as well, and of course Pam Smith is our working partner in health. Today it's a beautiful day. It's a proud day for the Cree Nation and our members that live off reserve. And you know what? Let's take advantage of it. Let's build the capacity to run this health center, and keep up the good work. And that's all I have to say, except thank you to our staff for putting up this beautiful facility, for organizing everything. We can't forget the backbone of any leadership is the staff. So thank you, staff, wherever you work, at the hospital, health center, chief and council. Mike, thank you. God bless us all.
Thank you, Councillor Anthony Pitagan. We're going to do two things before we go do the groundbreaking ceremony. We're going to go get presentations done. So if you're ready, I'll ask Chief Larson Anderson to come up and do some presentations.
If I may ask Minister Philpott to come.
Breakable. Is everyone excited? Okay. Whoa! Oh my gosh!
One more.
Wow! I'm going to be able to stay for the winter now.
One more.
Amazing. Okay, there's more. I'll get my gloves off for a minute there. Oh my gosh! I'm moving in. This is gorgeous. Thank you. Can I get a big hug?
Bless.
You're beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're testing me. Those were lovely gauntlets, and moccasins were made by Loretta Clark.
I certainly don't mind.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Chief. I just want to say how honored I am to be here today to celebrate this historic day with you, and to congratulate Chief and Council and the health team and the community members who have worked so hard to bring this project to the point it's at now, to proceed into the realization of your Health Centre of Excellence. It's an honor to work with you as the senior bureaucrat from First Nations and Inuit Health of Indigenous Services Canada, as your partner to achieve the goals that you aspire to improve your health. So thank you for having me here today to share this day with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Dan Fandel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pardon me? First time here. Thank you.
it's such an honor for me to be here. It's the first time that I've been here, and there's such a great energy. I want to thank you all for being present. I want to thank the Chief and the Council for your leadership on this, and of course Minister Philpott for really showing the leadership within our government to make sure that this commitment is respected. So thank you very much.
I have Dr. Doug Yellowson.
Oh my goodness. It's too big to take out. It's a beautiful quilt. Thank you so very much. I for 13 years I flew for Life Flight, that little orange jet that comes in from time to time, and I lost count of the number of times I had to come into this community. And what I saw was a bunch of very dedicated people working very hard who did not have enough resources, and I always thought that you needed and deserved better, and I'm honored to be part of this announcement that you are getting it. So thank you.
Grand Chief Sati.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Open it. Can I open it? Sure. Whoa. Let's go. Local artist. William. Kinanaskumit now. Very beautiful painting. Nasus Minosnoma. I'll find a place for it in my office, and I'll remember this moment, a very historic moment. Can I ask him it now?
Grand Chief Dumas.
Look at that.
And I got a book. I got to learn how to read now. Can I ask with now, Chief and Council and the people of Norway House. Thank you very much.
You know, there's usually key people to that, you know, that steer the ship, that take care of the little things. And those two people we have are here with us. I ask Alexandra Kropp to come as a gift from Chief and Council. Thank you. No, what you like?
Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you to Chief and Council, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do every day. So thank you for attending, and I hope you guys have a great day.
And the other part of the team, Rupinder Brar. Thank you.
So not only am I going to stay for the winter now, but I can dance a jig apparently once I have these on. So there's music coming after, and you are all going to teach me how to dance. Thank you very much. And Chief, if I may have you come up here for a presentation from the Government of Canada to recognize this very special day, a gift for you.
Thank you.
You can open it. It is made from caribou tufts, and it is 2 wood ducks recognizing our partnership together.
Thank you. With my ducks. Thank you very much. Mike, I guess so.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you very much, folks. At this time, we're going to do the actual groundbreaking ceremony. We were hoping that we could have done it at the site, but no money has flown yet to do anything, so it's going to start flowing soon. But before we do that, I want to do an acknowledgement on a partner that's taken a serious note to Norway House. So if I can have all the folks that work for Secretons to please stand up. There's one. Where's Grant? These folks, Grant is back there. Wave, Grant. These folks, he's the CEO now. When I first worked with him, he was one of the guys just throwing a shovel around for the company. He's a boss now. He's a CEO. Congratulations, my friend. He did our first joint venture project, and they have got into a joint venture with Norway House Cree Nation. And we look forward to continuously working with you, Grant, and your company. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to go to the by those big excavators back there. They're called backhoes. We're going to go do a groundbreaking ceremony there. Then, you folks, I need you guys to all come back, because we're going to get fed here with fish. I think we got some moose meat too, some bannock, whatever it is. It's all local food, locally grown. Okay, so come and eat here right after that, and we'll get somebody to bless our food as well. Hey, go see.